have a huge announcement to make. I have decided to stop eating meat for 24 hours. Let me explain. Today, I am taking on Vietnamese street food minus the meat. Surprisingly, here in Vietnam, you can find a vegetarian version of almost every classic street food, even street foods that center around meat. So today I'm on a mission to try these street foods and reveal to you whether they're better than the original or whether they're a complete disaster. Right now we're headed to our first location where they are preparing a vegetarian version of Vietnam's most iconic street food, the dish known as pho. To make pho, it's all about the broth. But to make that pho broth, you need beef bones or pork bones. You need bones from something that was walking around mooing or oinking or boinking. Nice. I was doing some boinking with my wife. So right here, I have made my way into the kitchen. Now, what's fascinating about this place is that everything you see here is vegetarian. So even if it looks like meat, it is still not meat. For example, this looks like roasted pork belly. Guess what? It's not. That is, I don't know. It's a bunch of other stuff, but it's not meat. Nothing cried or bled to make that food, except for maybe some vegetables. Except for maybe some plants. So this is the front, but next we're gonna go back to the pho making station over here. Xin chào. Here you see a whole host of different ingredients and all this stuff looks delicious. This is the beef for the pho, except for that beef is vegan beef. I'm gonna find out later what it's made out of and we will find out soon if it really, truly tastes like beef. So let's get into it. Ready? Okay? Okay. It all starts over here with some bun pho. All of that gets blanched in hot water. She adds in some bean sprouts, and within a matter of seconds, the noodles are ready. The next ingredient is tofu skin. From here, we have some of these fake beef balls, and then we have some slices of vegetarian beef. From there, scallions and some onion too. Now I've come to the other side where she is scooping up some of that vegetarian beef broth. And just like that, our vegetarian pho is ready to consume. All right, folks, we have our first course right here. Now, let me tell you, I don't want to be too hard on the food overall today. So I think there should be two criteria. The first is the food good or not? And the second is the food better or worse than its meaty alternative? The second thing is I want to explain quickly why so much of this vegetarian food exists here in Vietnam. You see, Vietnam is mostly a Buddhist country. And for many devout Buddhists, they will abstain from eating meat on the 1st and the 15th of every month. But there are also Buddhists who are eating vegetarian every single day of the month. And since Vietnam is a country that takes so much pride in its food, it should be no surprise that they put as much care and thought into their vegetarian food as they do in everything else, including the pho. What do we start with? This is pho, so we should start with the broth. Now this broth is made using corn, carrots, and radish. How does it stack up? Well, let's try it out. Oh, that's pretty good. It's not as complex or as fatty as a typical pho broth, but it has a nice depth of flavor. Beyond that, they're still using the typical 5 spice that you would find in any other pho broth. Let's try some of that broth now mixed with those noodles. Soft, tender, steamy, and satisfying. The biggest difference, I would say, is the fat content. It's hard to get a lot of grease out of a carrot, you know what I mean? But then there's the meat. This is their fake beef, a beef that is made out of soybeans and wheat flour, as well as some other ingredients. Oh, that texture is pretty good. Very springy. I thought it would be softer, just not reminiscent of beef at all. But I gotta say, if you mixed it with some other flavors and ingredients, it could easily be confused for actual beef. So let's do that and see if I can fool my big, smooth brain. Texture-wise, I am 80% of the way there. Flavor-wise, I mean, the hardest thing to replicate with all this vegetarian stuff is animal fat, and so we're not getting that nice oil slick on top of the pho. From there, I love that they have beef balls. The beef ball is full of soybeans, tofu, tapioca flour, and other ingredients. Not bad. It's got a nice bounce to it. It vaguely reminds me of a beef ball. Is it good? Yes. Is it better than beef pho? It's getting close, but no. So that is our first course. But this location actually has one more course, which is gum tam. Of course, it revolves around a pork chop. So how are they able to make a vegetarian version of a pork chop? Let's go find out. Mom gum tam. Everything starts right here with the broken rice. Ooh, steamy. Broken rice heads onto the plate, and that will be the foundation for our dish. Right now, she is heading to our meat section, and the first thing she's gonna put on is our egg loaf. From there, she puts on the pork chop. Very meaty. And then this is our pork skin. Now keep in mind, there is no actual pork involved here at all. From here, the atrocious cucumber. gets added in next. From there, pickled daikon and carrot. And finally, a classic with gum tom, some scallion oil mixed with scallions. Come on, Jake. All right, folks, right here we have our second course. The iconic condiment of Vietnam is fish sauce. And it turns out some people actually have compassion for fish. And so what they've done is they've made a fish sauce that includes no fish. Inside this bowl, there is soy sauce, pineapple, mushrooms, and water. Let's give it a little bit of a taste. I'm impressed. It also has chilies in there. It's very spicy and a lot of sugar too. So they're leaning in extra on the sweetness and on the chilies to get you to that fish saucy type flavor. Now, typically this fish sauce would go on basically everything on this plate, from the rice to the pork and everything in between. We're gonna start with our egg loaf. This is not vegan because they are using real actual eggs in here, but usually it would also have pork. Now it doesn't. I'm told it has little bits of tofu and some woodier mushroom as well. It looks almost indistinguishable from the typical egg loaf that you will find with gum tom. It doesn't really taste like any of these missing. It just tastes like a delicious egg loaf. It's eggy, it has mushrooms, it's covered in that sweet fish sauce. I love it. But then we have this, something much more difficult to fake, vegetarian pork skin. Now, I believe this is made from tofu. Tofu? Now, I believe this is made from tofu. Let's try it out. It has a pretty distinct taste of toasted rice. Does it really taste like pork? No, not so much, but the texture is almost spot on. We have the final boss right here. That is a vegetarian pork chop. Now, to do it justice, I want to mix it with some of his friends. Maybe we get some rice, some of this pickled carrot and daikon and scallions. It is very chewy, just like a real pork chop that you'll find here on the streets of Vietnam. It's usually been beaten with a hammer. It's thin, it's well done, and it takes a little bit of jaw power to get through it. They've even recreated some of that smoky charcoal flavor. Very impressive. So in the end, is it good? It's beyond good. I would say this is great. Is it better than the real thing? I would say this is getting dangerously close. So far, we are just 2 vegetarian foods into our day, and I gotta say, it's going a lot better than I expected. But we have some mock meats from animals I never expected to see, and those are coming up soon. In the USA, we love making mock meats out of popular proteins. For example, making chicken wings out of soybeans, or making burger patties out of God knows what. In Vietnam, as you can see, it's not much different, but this next food is a food I cannot believe they have vegetarianified. Here at this restaurant behind me, you can get a vegetarian version of balut. So right now we are inside the restaurant, and right here we have vegetarian balut. Balut is a semi-developed duck egg, an egg just a few days from hatching that is boiled, cracked open, and eaten. So when you're eating it, you're eating these semi-developed duck body parts like feet, heads, necks, armpits, and so on. Here they have the vegetarian version of that, made with 3 main ingredients: tofu, black moss, and wheat flour. As you can see right now, they are inside a piece of plastic that helps them keep their egg-looking shape. The next move from here is we're gonna prepare these vegetarian balut to eat. Fu, the owner of this restaurant, is moving all of those vegetarian balut into this steamer net. From here, she moves it to this giant cauldron of boiling water, and she covers it up. 2 minutes has passed. It is time to retrieve our fake balut. She pops the lid, and then all of the balut are dumped onto our plate. So that is our balut, but on the side right here, we have some coriander and a mixture of salt and pepper. All these together make a mighty fine snack. Let's go eat. All right, folks, vegetarian balut, here it is. This is incredibly creative and imaginative, and I love that about this. The woman, Fu, who we met earlier, she is quite literally a mad food scientist, because to make any kind of vegan food, well, you're not using one ingredient. You're usually using an alchemy of different strange ingredients together to try to copy what you're looking for. In this case, a semi-developed duck egg. Step 1, I'm gonna squeeze it out. Oh my gosh, it's like giving birth. And there we have it. It's a lot more solid than I expected. It's a little bouncy. So far, the texture fairly similar to what a balut might feel like. First, hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper. That's kind of awesome. Now, it does taste a little bit like tofu, but it is surprisingly eggy. Now, you can see right here, we have what looks like the black moss. There's a lot of bouncy and inconsistent texture on the inside, which is what you want from a balut. Now, why do you want an inconsistent texture? Well, because when you're eating balut, it's not some kind of a smooth texture throughout. You're getting all the different parts of the bird. Like, it is a chunky food, and she's managed to capture that chunkiness here. Wow, this is truly a special and rare find. Oh, that's so cool. This is what it would look like if you opened a balut. Balut is one of the hardest extreme foods for Americans to try when they first come to Asia. But here, these are your training wheels right here. Eating balut, fear-free and guilt-free. So this one, is it good? Yes, it's very good. Is it better than the original? I think it might be. I'm just gonna say yes.
Skipping meat can be tough, but skipping full price at checkout is easy with Coopert.
Look, I get it. Coupon hunting, it's exhausting, but that's why there's Coopert. It's a free browser extension that automatically tests every available coupon code at checkout and applies the best one. No digging, no Googling, no copy and pasting. It works on Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari, and Opera, and it's trusted by millions. Coopert partners with 200,000 plus stores and offers real cash back at over 76,000 retailers. Not points, not store credit, we're talking actual money to your PayPal or bank. So click the link in the description, install Coopert, and let your browser do the savings. Now, back to the show. Our next location has another one of Vietnam's most iconic street foods, the banh mi. Now, usually the banh mi would be stuffed full of eggs, cold cuts, or delicious roasted pork belly. But here, oh no, here they're putting anything inside but meat. Can you still create a delicious banh mi experience without meat? Let's go find out. It all starts with the banh mi bread. Ooh, looking toasty. Right here, this is our professional vegetarian banh mi maker. After the bread is toasted, it heads to the banh mi maker. Oh, it gets stabbed first. Here, they have all sorts of fun vegetarian ingredients. Ingredient 1. Mayonnaise. From here, cucumber. Oh dear God. I would usually say no cucumber, but if they take out the cucumber, are they gonna have anything left to put in there? Right here we have oyster mushrooms. I guess that is like the main meat of our banh mi. Right here we have pickled carrots and daikon. And then coriander coming up next. From here we have what I'm told is a vegan meat made from oats. It looks crunchy. Next, a nice scoop of peanuts and then a homemade tomato sauce. From here, Vietnam's second favorite condiment, chili sauce. And that right there is how you make a vegetarian banh mi. All right, folks, here it is, our vegetarian banh mi in its final form. First of all, this is a sandwich with some nuts. Get it? Nice. Secondly, inside they put something that they're calling vegan meat. When I asked what type of meat they're trying to replicate, they said roasted pork. Let's try it out. More like a crouton. That is the farthest away from any meat substitute we've had so far today. But that is not the only meat substitute in here. The mushroom is said to give a little bit of a meaty texture. Let's see how it works. The flavors that I'm tasting in my mouth right now are not bad. I'm getting that chili sauce, I'm getting a lot of that coriander, very fresh, some snappy cucumber. Beyond that, I'm getting a ton of crunch from that fake pork, and then a little bit of meatiness from those mushrooms. The banh mi is okay. Visually, my brain is telling me that's a banh mi. I see the bread, I see stuff inside, but as I chew it, it just feels like something's missing. Like there should be more to it on the inside. I feel like I'm eating a bread sandwich. In the end, is it good? It's okay. But is this better than the original? Also no. Moving on to our next food. So far today, we've tried the vegetarian version of some of Vietnam's most iconic street foods. But coming up next, we're gonna be trying Vietnam's favorite meat, vegetarian style. If I had to pick one meat that Vietnamese folks embrace and love with all their heart, it would be Ao Quay. That is roasted pork belly. But how do you make roasted pork belly without a pig? We're gonna find out. Let's head inside and find out. So right now we are in the kitchen. We are about to assemble our next dish, and I want to show you the star ingredient right here. I would think that at first glance, looking at that, it kind of looks like meat. First of all, a pork belly, it's gonna have 3 different layers. First of all, the skin, then the fat, and then a protein section after that. And here, they have to mimic all 3 in different ways. It all starts with the skin, which is made from a wheat flour, baking into a type of crispy bread. But then comes to the fat. The fat is made from coconut milk mixed with tapioca flour. After that, the protein, which is made from taro flour and wheat flour mixed together. Perhaps food coloring is part of this too, but at the end of it, you have these like perfect cubes or rectangles that do quite closely mimic actual pork belly. It's very impressive. So now that we've met the star of the show, let's put this dish together. It all starts with this steamed rice blankets known as banh hoi. One by one, those blankets are ripped and then rolled into little yoga mats. From here, we are putting on the greens, then pickled carrot and daikon. After that, we have some fake pork skin and some scallions and scallion oil. Now it is time for the star of the show, our fake pork belly. On the side, she puts a little bit of sauce and our dish is complete. Right here, we have one of the most high-level, complex, intricate attempts at making a meat substitute so far today. On the top, we have skin, then we have fat, and then we have the protein. Time to find out if it actually tastes like pork. Whoa, that is awesome. The thick, sweet sauce that they've coated all of this fake pork in, it's delicious. But then you've got the pork, which together, all of these elements are definitely working. Let's break it down one by one. First of all, the skin. The skin is actually crunchy, and the best part is that they fried. I'm dying. And the best part is that they fried this whole thing right here, so it's making it even crunchier. Then we have the fat portion. It's so gummy and soft and rich. And then we have the protein right here. Crunchy, meaty, a nice dense bite. I cannot believe how far the innovation has gone in Vietnam with vegetarian food. Meanwhile, in the USA, we're stuck with plant burgers. The way you're actually supposed to eat it is by pairing that yummy fried pork with this rice sheet called ban hoi. I'm gonna give it a little bit of dip in the soy sauce. That looks like a sweet, thick soy sauce. Is it delicious? Is it good? It's very good. When it comes to the fake Vietnamese pork belly versus the real thing, I gotta say, it's a tie. I'd be happy to eat either one. And that's coming from somebody who doesn't even care if pigs die. Maybe we don't need that last part. So that is food number 5, but we still have 2 more foods remaining, including one that you wouldn't expect to find here in Vietnam. Let's keep moving. Our next restaurant is not a restaurant at all. In fact, this man right here has quite literally brought a recipe from the Mekong Delta here to the city of Saigon. In the back of his bike, right here, he has steaming a special vegetarian treat. Let's go take a look inside. This is Woong. This is Woong's bike, and right now Woong is gonna make his special dish. Inside, for a vegetarian, this is like a gold mine. It is a steamer full of tofu. Woong starts by picking out the perfect piece of tofu. The first step right here is to cut the tofu in half, and then he puts in a combination of salt and pepper. Right here he has a homemade chili sauce that he smears on top, looking very spicy. From there he's got a lime. Then he hits the whole thing with a dose of coriander, and that, my friend, is complete. To call this dish a sandwich would be an insult to Woong, but also an insult to sandwiches. What is it actually? It's kind of like a jazzed up piece of tofu. Hey, how you doing? Hungry? No? Okay, bye. What's famous about this place is the tofu. It is made from soy beans, but the way they steam the tofu, they steam it with soy milk. It's soy on soy crime. If you thought you were a soy boy before, now you're a double X soy boy. That's a lot of soy and a lot of boy.
And I'm a man who loves to play with boys. What the? No, wait a minute.
Right now, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna try to be open-minded. The main flavor, tofu. The skin is the best because it's a little bit more chewy. It's got some nice bite to it, like the skin of a sausage. But then when you get on the inside, it is full of flavor. You're getting a little bit of kick from those chilies, some salt, some pepper, fresh coriander. I mean, it has flavor. So what are my true feelings? Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's okay. This is not something I would go out of my way to try. Is this better than the real thing? Well, this is kind of the real thing. This is the only food today that's not really a vegetarian version of a different dish. So look, this is a nice little vegetarian appetizer for our big finale, which is coming up next. One of the most satisfying street food you'll find in all in Vietnam, done the vegetarian way. We have arrived at our final location. Here, they're serving up a vegetarian version of one of Anthony Bourdain's favorite Vietnamese street foods. It's called banh xeo. This is a thin pancake, and typically inside they would put shrimp and some steamed pork belly. But today, well, they're not putting that stuff. Let's find out how they make it veggie style inside. We have arrived in the banh xeo making station. It all starts right here with my guy pouring in a batter, a combination of rice flour, turmeric, and scallion. What's more impressive than anything is right now this guy is manning 4 different banh xeo stations. Step 2, each of these skillets receives a line of bean sprouts. Step 3, he's got to lube it up with a little bit of oil. Next, he adds a ton of volume to the banh xeo with 4 different ingredients, a blend of tofu, oyster mushrooms, jicama, and pork pie without any pork. So these are the main guts, the real fillings of our banh xeo. It's actually a lot more full than almost any other banh xeo I've seen before. After sizzling away in the oil for a few minutes, it is finally time to give the banh xeo a little bit of a flip. This is its final form. It looks like a gigantic Vietnamese taco, and that is where the magic begins. The magic finishes at the table. Let's move. All right, folks, here we have our vegetarian banh xeo, but let's talk about what goes with it. You also get a garden, greens, lettuce, herbs. Beside that, we have fish sauce with no fish, and here we have rice paper with no rice. Wait, hold on a second. No, there's rice. Definitely rice. So let's get into this. I want to pop the top and show you what's inside. Oh, there is no shortage of ingredients here. A little bit of everything, including a piece of carrot, but a lot of jicama, what they're calling pork pie, and tofu and oyster mushrooms as well. Thank you. Let's get into it. I want to break off a corner and I want to fold it like this. And then sometimes I might just give that a little bit of a dip and let it drip dry and toss it back. It's very good. What I love about eating it that way is you get the pure crunch of the Banseo pancake. And to me, that's my favorite part. But it's also excellent to mix it with all these other ingredients. Right here, we have the rice paper. From here, I want to put on a little bit of lettuce. And I really want to rub the lettuce on there to get some of that lettucey moisture onto the rice paper. From here, I want to break the Banseo a little bit. Next, I want to take all that and put that into here. Yes. This is going to be our roll. So now I slowly and carefully take all this and roll it up. Here, the last step is to give it a bit of a dip inside of this faux fish sauce and toss back that crunchy goodness. Let's go. That's nice. Oh yeah, I forgot herbs. First of all, I love the rice paper, how it binds everything together. I love that over here you get a little bit of freshness. Over here, you're getting a lot of crunch. And with everything they put inside, you're getting a lot of body. The fish sauce is similar to the fish sauce we tried earlier. It is absolutely delicious and is what ties everything together. So, is this good? Yes, it's fantastic. I love it. But is this better than the meat alternative? I cannot say it's better, but it's certainly not worse. I think we have another tie on our hands. I would not be disappointed to get this at a restaurant, but if I also happen to get some meat in there too, that would only sweeten the deal. Oh, I guess that puts you slightly behind meat, huh? This morning when I started this very important journalistic endeavor, I didn't know which way things would go. I knew that Saigon had a ton of vegetarian options, but I also knew that Vietnam, they make amazing food, no matter what the limitations are. So in the end, I am very impressed with the vegetarian street food options that you will find here in this city. And if I had to choose a winner from today, it would probably be a tie between that fried pork belly and the balut. I love the idea that anyone thinks balut is so delicious that it must have a vegetarian version.